Hey guys. So instead of doing a November favorites all about beauty products this month, I'm going to do a non-beauty favorites because you guys know what my favorites are. They don't really change that much, so it gets kind of redundant to keep talking about the same products over and over again. So I thought it might be interesting to talk about some things that are my favorites that have nothing to do with beauty. And I don't think I've talked about any of these things before, so let's get right into it. If you wear either prescription glasses or sunglasses, how do you clean them? I started using lens wipes a few years back, and the ones that I was using were okay, but I started using a different brand about, 2 or 3 years ago, I would say. And I gotta tell you, I don't know how I ever lived without these because they clean glasses so great and they are not expensive at all because some lens wipes are. As a matter of fact, I've got my slip because I just bought some more. These are $5 a box and you get 100 wipes in a box. And this is what they look like. And the brand is Zeiss, Zeiss, and I get these at Walmart in the Vision Center section. In the front of the store, they have a place where you can buy glasses and things like that. So I just go in there and grab a box and throw them in my carriage and then, continue on with my shopping. So you don't have to purchase them in the Vision Center. You can just throw them in your carriage. But these are amazing, you guys. And $5 for a box of 100. My husband and I both wear prescription glasses, so we go through these like crazy. And I've also used them, I don't know if you're supposed to or not, but I've also used them on my computer monitor, so I wouldn't advise that though because I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing that or not, but I'm not, I haven't had any problems with scratches or anything on my computer monitor, but I use them for that too. What I do is I shut the computer down completely and then I wipe it. I don't do it with it on. But anyways, these are amazing. So if you're not really happy with what you're using to clean your glasses, whether they be prescription or sunglasses, give these a shot because they are absolutely fantastic and I couldn't live without them. The ones I used to use before were a lot more expensive and they didn't work as well. So that's my first non-beauty favorite. My second non-beauty favorite is I've been drinking more tea lately. I've always been a big coffee and tea fan, and so I've been drinking more tea than I used to, and I like honey in tea as a sweetener. I used to just drink it straight with nothing. But sometimes I put honey, sometimes I put lemon, sometimes I put lemon and honey. It just, I don't know, it varies. But this honey is amazing. It tastes so good. It's raw honey, and the brand is called We Bee Honey. So that's what it looks like. We Bee Honey, naturally raw, cold packaged, and cold packed. And oh my God, it is so good. When you first buy it, it has like a hard surface on the top. It almost looks like wax. And then after you break through that, the texture of it changes to this. But oh my God, I had never had raw honey. I didn't even understand the difference. So I guess most of the honey that you see at stores like Clover honey and stuff like that, it has been processed in some way. So this is different. This is raw and it is absolutely delicious. And to the point where I use it in my coffee now too. I use this, I use it in my coffee and tea. And it's so good. And what I'm trying to do is use a very small amount because I used to always use just granulated sugar as a sweetener in my coffee. And I felt like I was using more and more all the time. So I wanted to switch to something more natural and use less. So that's what I put. And I just get this at a local supermarket that's not in every part of the country. So you would probably have to look for it like in the section of the store that would be organic and natural and that type of thing. I'm looking to see if they have a website in. It's webeehoney.net. If you can't find it in your local store, they might have a store locator thing on there. The next thing I want to talk about is snacks. I try very hard not to eat snacks because if you eat snacks, it's really hard to keep your weight in check. So what I do is I only will allow myself to have snacks on the weekends. And what my husband and I have been eating is popcorn, like the kind of popcorn that you pop yourself. And so I get Arrowhead Mills organic popcorn, and this is, yeah, I said it was organic. I'm trying to eat things more organic type stuff and have like less pesticides and things like that in my diet. I'm also trying to make sure that I buy things, if I can, that are like non-GMO. I can't buy everything like that because it's always more expensive when you buy organic or non-GMO products, so I can't get everything, but I try to get some things at least. So anyways, that's why I get this kind, because there was another kind of popcorn that I was buying and it said non-GMO on it, but it didn't say organic. So, I mean, it's good that it was non-GMO, but I also want it to be organic. But anyways, we pop our own popcorn, and I have perfected the technique because, you know, popping your own popcorn, it can be a little tricky. Sometimes it seems like it doesn't pop right, or so I've perfected the technique now where it, you know, it comes out really good. And what I pop it in is organic coconut oil because I don't want to use vegetable oil or corn oil because those oils just really aren't that healthy, because I have never seen vegetable oil or corn oil that is organic or non-GMO or any of that. Matter of fact, corn products are one of the worst ones for GMO. Genetically modified is what I'm talking about. So anyways, I was at Target one day and I saw this. I kind of jump around and use different brands of coconut oil, but I always look for the organic ones. And I saw this at Target one day, and I couldn't believe that this company makes this because, well, because it's Crisco. Crisco organic coconut oil. And I was so surprised because when I was a kid, everyone had a can of Crisco in the cabinet. They would use that for baking, or they would use that to put to grease a pan before they did baking, or they would, you know, use it for all different things. So I thought that was pretty great that Crisco is making organic products now, because I didn't know that. And Target is the only place that I've seen this. And really, I don't think that there's that much difference from one brand to the next when it comes to organic coconut oil. But the reason why I like this is it's not always easy to find a good sized jar of this stuff. I noticed that most coconut oil comes in really small packaging. It usually comes in a package that's more like this size. So this one is pretty big. So, because we go through this, because on the weekends, we usually will make some popcorn and watch some Netflix, and that's our treat. That, you know, I would love to. I would love to eat popcorn every single day if I could, but that's definitely not a good idea for a lot of reasons. So we mostly eat popcorn on the weekends, and like I said, I've perfected the technique now. I know exactly how much oil to put in and how much popcorn and how to do the process on the stove. And you would think it would be like, well, there isn't that much to it, right? Well, there is, because if you have the heat too high, it can burn. If you don't have the heat high enough, the kernels won't pop. Or if you do certain things or don't do certain things, then, you know, all different kinds of things can happen. So I was actually going to film a video on how to pop the perfect popcorn, but basically what it comes down to is when it's the weekend and we're having fun and eating popcorn and watching Netflix and relaxing, the last thing in the world I feel like doing is filming a video. I had asked my husband to help me with it. I said, you know, why don't I pop the popcorn and you can film it, or vice versa? And he was like, yeah, okay, I'll help you. But then, you know, when it comes right down to it, we don't feel like it. So anyways, there's definitely a technique to it. But if you've been looking for a good sized jar of organic coconut oil, Crisco makes it, and you can get it at Target. Let's see. My other non-beauty favorites are, I've been reading more. I've been trying to take the time, and I don't just mean fashion magazines and articles about makeup or beauty blogs or anything like that. I've been actually reading books. What I used to do was I would start a book and then I would kind of lose interest or not take the time to sit down and read, and I would never finish it. But I actually finished a book the other day, and I had put it down for a little while, but I went back to it and got back into it and actually finished it. And I would love to tell you guys what books I read, but I think that would create some problems because the type of books that I like to read are on, well, first of all, I don't normally read fiction. Once in a great while I do, but most of the time I read books that are nonfiction, and I read books on subjects that are somewhat controversial. So if I was to start talking about like the book that I just finished or the book that I'm reading now, it would bring up a lot of questions, and then I would have to give my opinion about things, and people would get upset, and you know what? It's just not worth it. So why did I bring it up at all? Because I love to read. And I wish I could talk about the books that I read, but yeah, I read books about politics and religion and, you know, subjects that you're not really supposed to talk to people about, because people get really fired up about those subjects, as is evident on the news lately. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to talk about the books that I've been reading, but I'm just saying that my non-beauty favorites this past month have definitely been books, and I'm so glad that I've been able to get back into reading books again, because I don't know if you know this or not, but I used to work at Borders Bookstore, and unfortunately they are no longer in business. But yeah, I love books and reading, and I really missed it, and that was one of the things that I really wanted to do, was get back into reading books again. So I've been doing that. So I just wanted to mention that because I had talked about that in a video before, and I just wanted to let you know that I did follow through on that, and I am reading books again. All right, so those are my non-beauty favorites this month, and I probably won't talk about these things again because this is going to be like an ongoing thing: the popcorn, the honey, the lens wipes, the coconut oil. So there's no need to bring these up again, but if you wanted some ideas of, you know, good products of those things, I figured I would do this video, and that's it. So hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll be eating popcorn and watching Netflix, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks so much for watching.